Hi there, this is Christine. I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I want to try the baby wipe technique with you. Maybe you've seen videos on it before or even tried it yourself. The first thing I've done is I've got a baby wipe here, and I'm using an empty stamp case. Any plastic holder will work. So I'm just adding some Night of Navy. The stamp that I'm using is fairly large, which is why I'm doing such a large area here. And I did a test earlier and I found that I really needed to pull in some dark colors for it to work with the stamp that I'm trying to use. I'm also using some Pacific Point here, our retiring Pacific Point. This one I'm sad to see go, and I've got some on my fingers. I am going to I'll just clean it here. Here we go. Little ink transfer onto the wipe. Oh my goodness. So try not to get it too much onto yourself when you're doing this. I am just gonna grab, sorry about the noise there, I'm just grabbing another baby wipe to clean my hands a bit because I don't want to get this all over my card base when I'm ready to start stamping. All right, so basically what we're doing here is creating an ink pad, if you will. It doesn't have a tremendous longevity because it's just ink added to a wipe and it will dry out on you. So I'm just trying to saturate my area. And so this is Bermuda Bay, another retiring color, another favorite of mine. And lastly, I'm just going to use some Coastal Cabana to add a little more. And I'm being fairly generous here. I don't think you need to be quite that generous. It's just coming out. There we go. So the stamp set I'm using for this test of mine is the Waves of Inspiration. I want to capture this wave and all the textures and colors in it. So let's give that a go. I've pre-cut some basic white cardstock. So this measures 5 by 3 and 3 3/4. Yes. All right. So this is a huge stamp. So I've got it on my largest block. It can be a bit challenging to use this larger block. The Stamparatus is a nice tool for using these really large stamps, which is being discontinued, I should add. All right, so we've got some ink pickup here. So let's try that. Let's see what it does. And I'm adding a fair amount of pressure just because I want to transfer as much as I can here. Let's see what we've got. So that's pretty cool. I seem to not have picked up a lot here, but you know what? I'm okay with this because I've got a plan. But I also want to try another one. I'm going to add a bit of water to this and see if that helps with the ink transfer. Trying to keep the water going onto here. So you can see it's bleeding a bit more. I'm just using my spritzer to do that. One of my favorite little tools. And I'm going to clean my stamp so that we're going in with a clean stamp. All right, so I'm applying pressure to pick up as much color as I can. And I've got another piece of white cardstock here that will test out. All right, let's see what we've got. This is so exciting because you've absolutely no clue what you're getting. At least I find it exciting. For those of you who like the predictability, maybe this isn't the best, but I like to play. So we've got a little bit more, well, it's fairly similar actually. A little bit more intensity though. And I didn't take it off my cardstock as much, so I do have a line, and that's fine. I'm just gonna trim that before I use it. Okay, so that's our test for this one. I am going to keep playing with this technique and bring you back other stamps. I don't know if this being a distinctive stamp and having all these, you know, textures and whatnot with the waves, if it's the best one to try. So I just really wanted to try it with you. So let's turn this into a card. I've prepared some other pieces using this amazing stamp set and dies, coordinating dies. So I'm using basic gray as my card base. I have cut that to 11 by 4 1/4 and scored it at 5 1/2. So I'm just burnishing that score line to have it nice and crisp. Now, I do have a piece of cardstock that I'm just going to put on the inside just to be able to write on this darker color. So I don't need a lot of glue here because that's just going on the inside. So I'm just going to center that. There we go. So now we've got lots of room to write our message. And let's do the front. So this one here, I don't end up having to trim any, so I'm going to use this one. Use the other one for another project at a later time. So oh no, that's fine. Okay. So the waves end up being very, very pale. It's a kind of cool effect, almost like a tie-dye waves. My fingers are so full of ink. Okay, so I've got my sentiment. I'm making a birthday card, and I'm pulling in the grays to make it a little bit more gender neutral or leaning on the masculine side. And I'm just gonna struggle a little bit picking this die cut piece up. Okay, so these birds, the sentiment label, as well as this heron or pelican, I don't know, the bird, the bird on the pier, those were stamped. Well, sorry, this was not stamped. The sentiment and the bird on the pier were stamped with the stamp set. And then they were die cut with the waves dies. So nice variety of label sizes here, some clouds, 2 styles of waves, and these birds. So lovely die set. So I'm not going to complicate this. I'm just going to use some, that's not what I want. I'm going to use some ink, some glue. My goodness, not ink at all. I am in Ottawa, Canada, and it is our first like truly gorgeous spring day. So I spent the entire morning outside walking, and it's just glorious. So nice. And I am off work today, so I had the luxury of time to be able to do that. I like to use liquid glue when I'm trying to get stuff on straight. It gives you a little bit more wiggle room to be able to move things around, as you just saw me do. And we're gonna put our pelican there or pelican here. Yeah, I think we'll do it there so that we're not hiding that wave. And I'm gonna drop it down just a little bit lower than the waves. And because this is a die cut piece, it's almost a little bit raised up already, which is kind of cool. So I'm not gonna add dimensionals to that. You'll notice that I've got 2 liquid glues on the go. I keep one upside down so I don't have to wait for it to, for the glue to get from one end to the other, and I keep one right side up so that it's, when I'm trying to do a larger surface, I can easily just do that. I'm gonna put my sentiment over here, I think. Yeah, so I'm gonna put this on dimensionals. Just to have that popped up a bit. Excuse my reach. I've got these mini dimensionals left over from a paper pumpkin kit, so I am going to use those. This is such a versatile stamp set, and the dies. There's just so much we can do with this. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to add a bit of color? You know, you could add some color with a brush to the background, but I'm not going to. I'm keeping it simple. And I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue behind my birds. Don't need a lot here, just a wee bit. And my fingers are so full of ink, my goodness. I'll be scrubbing for a little while. And we'll just put them in the background up here. So very simple, elegant, you know, more masculine leaning card with the Waves of Inspiration stamp set and the Waves dies, and using that fun baby wipes technique. So more to come on that from me, but we'll start with this video today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this will inspire you to try something new. Please subscribe to the channel to see when I post another new video. Thanks.